Welcome, Trojan hockey fans. The boys are warming up. Bay City Wolves to my right, your Trojans to my left. Coming off a tough loss last night, hard one to call. But again, Forest Hills, pretty darn good team, ranked. Bay City with a loss yesterday, us with a loss yesterday. Should be a pretty good game. I'm going to put the mic down for 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right, with 2 minutes left in the warm-ups, Kimber will take some shots from the boys. Coach was on the bench discussing game strategy. I'm going to yap out some of our sponsors real quick. BC Pizza, thank you. Cass Street Nose and Throat, thank you. Century 21, thank you. Elk Rapids Marina, thank you. Great Lakes Orthopedics, thanks for taking care of our boys. It's not a shock you sponsor us. You probably get enough business from us. Image 360 does our end boards. Thank you. Independent Bank, thanks for taking care of us. IVF, Michigan and Ohio, thanks. Kilwins, some of the best fudge I've ever had. Thank you for sponsoring Traverse City Trojans. Natolo's Little Italy. It's hard for me to thank you because I think you've maybe put on 5 pounds, but I love your food. Thanks for taking care of the Trojans. Elder Law, thanks for taking care of the Trojans. Old Mission Associates, Jordan Valmanis, one of the most generous humans I know. Thank you for taking care of Traverse City Trojans. Parker Harvey, when you need a lawyer, I know who to call. Thanks, Scott, for taking care of us. Pet Supplies Plus, thanks for taking care of your Trojans. Sarah of Traverse City, thank you for supporting the Trojans. Sleep In, Traverse City, Mr. Rodenroth, thanks for taking care of us. Smart Sheet Metal, thank you for supporting your Trojans. Traverse City Golf Performance Center, thank you for taking care of the Trojans. And Traverse Bay Aesthetics, thank you so much for your support of the Trojans. We appreciate it. So the buzzer blows at the end of the warm-ups, and both teams go down by their respective goalies and put pucks in the bucket. They're lining up on the goal line for the national anthem, and we'll find out who our starting lineups are. I see Allie Mae down there, who was missing yesterday. She was out sick. Allie Mae Photography not only does a ton of action pictures, but supports our Trojans. Allie, I'm glad to see her well enough to be back. Thank you. All right, we got the national anthem out of the way. The boys go talk to their goalie, Jace Kimbrell, starting tonight. So we talked about the coaches changing up the lines. His coach put it, throwing them in a blender. And we've got Soap and Burkholder starting in the back. Graham Peters, Ben Burley, and Xander Fogelman up front. That is definitely a new line. Let's see what kind of production we can pull out of that. So Graham Peters will head to the center of the ice to take that face off. Burley to his left, Fogelman to his right. Face off, won by Peters, goes back to Soper. Soper to Burkholder. Burkholder off Burley's stick. Driven in deep by Peters. And the Wolves, Bay City, able to bring it out. Oh, they pay the price at the red line, trying to get it past our boys. Soper picks off the pass, shoots off the blocker of the Wolves goalie. Bay City sends it behind their net, missed, and Fogelman keeps it in. He goes to the middle, loses the puck. Bay City picks it up, goes behind their net, checks up, reverse move. Burley hits his man. Davidson almost picked that off. Burkholder in the middle, dumps it in deep. Just in. Beatty goes back, gets a stick on it, ties his man up, allows Davidson to get there. Davidson tried a centering pass. It was picked off by the Bay City defenseman. Braden White out there with Klusterman now, shot in toward Kimbrell. White tried to clear the net. It went right to one of the Bay City players. They keep it in behind our goal line. Now Davidson gets it to White. White up to Beatty. Beatty backhands it out of the zone. Weaver takes a hit, stands tall, gets the puck to Beatty. Beatty makes his own. Beatty tried to make a move. Davidson centers, shot on net. Kept in at the line by Klusterman. Holy mackerel, some great pressure there early in the first. Evan Blazak comes out to take care of Davidson. Puck knocked out through the middle by Bay City. Blazak at the blue line, avoids a check, not able to keep it in. And Blake Davidson on the line. Now Blazak comes up with it. Blazak looks, makes a move, goes back to White. Centering pass by Bay City misses. Goes all the way down behind their goal line.
You get a cameraman?
Bay City. Behind their net, drives it around to the point. They chip it up. Luke Harvey misses the bouncing puck. It goes all the way behind the goal line. Conaway pins his man on the boards. And one of the Bay City Wolves dropped Luke Harvey. He's getting an interference call. Their captain is not happy with that. He's trying to plead his case, and the referee doesn't even pay attention, sends him to the box. Hello, there we go. Sorry about that little cord technical difficulty. Fogelman gets a puck, shoots to the other side. It goes to Graham Peters through the crease. Fogelman's got it on the line. He goes to Peters. Peters sets it up. He's looking. He hit Weaver. Weaver hit Fogelman. Fogelman steps to the middle, goes back to Weaver. Weaver shoots. Blocked. Weaver, blue line. He sends it to Fogelman. Fogelman shot just wide. Out of Weaver's reach. It's going to make it all the way out. Bay City able to pick that up. Soper on D. Thwarts his player. Pins him on the board. Davidson comes back to help. Bay City happy to just eat some time. Fogelman's got it now. He goes down. Loses the puck. Bay City puts it between the skate and the wall. And just eating time. 1:01 left in the penalty for Bay City. Now the Trojans break it loose. Davidson gets smacked up against the boards. And Weaver comes out with it. He hits Soap. Soap dumps it in deep. The goalie's going to play it off his stick. We go for a change. Bay City's going to be able to clear. Bay City beats Burley. Burley, oh! Kimbrough with a save! Great save by Kimbrough. Rodenross got it now. He brings it out. He heads to across the blue line, red line. He makes their blue line, shoots off the goalie's pad into the corner. Picks up his own rebound. Rodenroth can't control it. It comes around to Beatty. Beatty able to keep it in with a foot. Now, second effort. Bay City gets it out. Kloosterman forces the play, makes Bay City go backward. Evan Blazak ends up with the puck. He picks it, hits Beatty. Beatty comes across the blue line. Off his own foot, kept in. He dumps it deep. Goes all the way behind the net. And even strength now. Bay City gets it out. This should have been an icing, but Kimbrell had to play it in his crease. Burkholder sends it to Kloosterman. Kloosterman goes back to Burkholder. Burkholder up at the point. Not out. Bay City able to get it. Burkholder picks it off a stick. Sent to the middle. And now it comes out as Humphreys poked at it, went down. Long pass to Humphreys, off his foot. File picks it up. File not able to make the zone, knocked off his stick. Now, Cade Treadway, near side, one-on-one, checks up. He tried to go back to the point and fanned on the pass. He sent it to the middle, nobody there. Humphreys with a good forecheck, picks up the puck. He goes back to Treadway. Humphreys going for a change. Treadway goes in. Treadway knocked off his stick, back to the point. Soper's got to back up. Good stick work by Soper. He takes a hit but protects the puck. And Bay City with a long pass. They're offsides. Two players offsides. They check up. which gives Soper plenty of time to pick that puck up. He goes high off the glass. Harv knocks it down with a hand, goes backward to Soper, and now Beatty gets it. He goes to the middle. Rodenroth looks. He goes back to Burkholder. Burkholder up the point to Davidson. Davidson across to Soper. Soper comes in, sends it toward the goalie, who sends it away with a pad. Beatty tried to go through the foot of the defenseman. He goes down. That was Soper with a shot that went over the net. White kept it in. Second effort by Bay City gets it out. Davidson picks it up. Davidson shoots it in. He goes for a change. Fogelman picked up the rebound, took a shot. It was blocked before it got to the net. And Conaway picks up the pass off of White's stick. Fogelman dumps it backhand. They take it out. It goes to Graham Peters. Graham Peters pressures. Bay City goes our way. Pass intercepted by Fogelman. Fogelman to Peters. Peters with a shot off the goalie's pad. Fogelman with his own rebound. Pretty darn good save by the Bay City goalie there. Fogelman picks off the puck. The pass. Conaway picked it up in his end, drove it out. Bay City drives it back in. Kimbrell tried to play it over his stick. Up to Fogelman, out of the zone. Back in. Shot into Kimbrell's glove, falls down in his pads. He hangs on. So we'll get a face-off to the right of Kimbrell. Klusterman and Harvey back. Blazak, Lehtinen, and Rodenroth up. Bay City wins the face-off. Shot toward Kimbrell. Into his pads and into his glove. He hangs on. We'll get another face-off. Face-off, controlled by the Trojans. Here comes Lehtinen. He hit Rodenroth. Rodenroth dumped it in, but Lehtinen just slid across the line before it went in. We had to check up on sides. Bay City brings it in. Klusterman gets it out. This puck will go all the way down. This should be an icing. Klusterman didn't think he had that much on it, but it ended up all the way down. Burkholder and Soper back. Weaver, Beatty, and Davidson up front. Davidson takes the face-off. He wins it. It goes to Berkey. Berkey goes back up the boards to Davidson. Davidson curls. His pass to Beatty intercepted, but it still ends up in the neutral zone. Bay City drives it back in, but the Trojans send it right back out. Bay City makes the red line, dumps it in. Burkholder drops his man to the ice. Beatty mishandled the pass. Trojans get it out. Bay City dumps it right back in. Soper behind the net goes to Berkey. Berkey lets it go to Weaver. Weaver gets it to Davidson. Davidson to Beatty. Beatty makes a move, goes to the middle. Off his stick at the last second. Beatty sent it to Weaver. Weaver just missed the net. Soper stepped in and got it. Burkholder steps in and gets it. He tried to go deep behind the net. And Burkholder's dumping pass hits one of the down Bay City players. Now, off of the stick of Collier, no icing. Pass out, hits Conaway. Conaway backhanded it to White. White sent it up. Conaway gets it back. He curls backward off the boards. And now Files got it. He comes in. His man goes down. File backhands it to Humphreys. Humphreys couldn't handle that pass. And Bay City puts it in the corner. Collier goes in. File goes in. File gets his feet swept out from under him. They hold it in the corner. File looks. Now Bay City sends it. Conaway had stepped in. He shoots just over the net. It goes to White. White keeps it in. He takes a hit. Humphreys with a shot. Up into the glove of the goalie. And he hangs on for a whistle. Pretty good pressure there by the Trojans. Pretty solid defense there by Conaway and White. Conaway stepped in to keep that one in, and when it came all the way around, White had to race there to get it, and when he did, he waited till the last second to dump it and took a hit, but kept the puck in for a shot on net. So now Bay City's got it after the face-off. Trojans pressure, and Graham Peters sent it toward the net, but he had pressure and did not get everything he wanted on that. Goalie gloves it, hangs on. We'll get a face-off in the Bay City end. 5:48 first period. Shots on goal 7-4 in favor of your Trojans. Face-off. Graham Peters, he wins that one, but it goes deep. Burley gonna pick that up. He centers it back to Peters. Peters to Burley. Burley looks. Burley goes to the point. Harv shoots. Hits one of the Bay City Wolves. And the Wolves are able to get it out. It bounces over Harv's stick. But Peters dumped the puck out. Took a really late hit. Shot toward the net by Burley. Steered just wide. Up the boards. Harv keeps that in. He goes right back to Fogelman. Fogelman tried to center, nobody there. Bouncing puck, miss. Kimbrell gonna have to move. Oh, Kimbrell poked just enough to keep that off the tip of the stick of the Bay City Wolves player, and he keeps it out of the net. Second shot on Kimbrell, steered aside. Wolves settle it down. They go far side. Fan on the shot. Wolves with a little bit of pressure here. This is probably the hardest run they've had yet. They get it. Wow. So the Wolves were offside, number 8 for the Wolves. Flattened Luke Harvey, knowing that whether he touched the puck or not, it was offsides. No call on that one. So the refs are definitely letting the boys play tonight. 4:43 first period, scoreless game. Soper, Burkholder back, face off, controlled by the Trojans. Now the Wolves have it. They send it to the middle, out, chipped in. Burkholder races back to get that. He holds it up with a stick, hits. Who was that? Weaver. Weaver hit Beatty. Beatty with a shot off the left pad of the goalie. And just out another shot by Weaver. Burkholder decides to back up. Weaver stopped the cross-ice pass, but it made it all the way back to Davidson. Davidson's going to hit Soper. Soper sees room. He's got the red line. He dumps it in from the red line off the goalie's blocker into the corner. Nice move by Caden Rodenroth. Nobody in front of the net when he centered it. The Wolves just dump it out, and Burkholder should get there easily. He looks, goes right in front of the Trojan bench. Not out. Now Trojans' second effort. Soper hit Davidson. Davidson to Rodenroth. Rodenroth makes it. Centering pass. It's in! The goal! The goalie reached behind the line to pull it out. The ref was already pointing at it. We go up by 1 with 3:34 in the first period. Not a pretty goal, but it doesn't matter. We'll take it. Shots on goal 9-5 in favor of your Trojans. Up by 1 late in the first. So Davidson, Blazak, and Rodenroth out there now. Conaway and White back. We win the face-off. Conaway ends up with it. He goes off the boards and out. Wolves dump it back in. They check up. Conaway makes it to the puck. It comes out. Rodenroth through his own legs. Lost his balance trying to play that puck. Blazak makes a check. Humphreys with a check. And White sends it to Conaway. Conaway looks. Long pass, just tipped by the Wolves, but now Blazak picks it up. He's offsides, but the puck never came in, so no call. Conaway goes for a change. And the puck ends up in the Wolves' end. They go far side off the boards, but Kloosterman able to pick that up. Shot toward the net, steered aside by Kimbrell. White goes in there and battles for it. He sends it to Blazak. Blazak lost it. Shot, missed the net. Humphreys with a good hit. Drove his man off the puck. Rodenroth gets it out. Rodenroth swipes at it, but the Wolves come away. We go for a line change. Wolves come back in. Kloosterman tries to keep him to the outside. Wolves with a head of steam shot. Off a stick wide of the net. Kloosterman looks off of File's glove. File able to get it all the way across the ice to Davidson. Davidson's got room. He goes for a move. He shoots. Oh, just off the blocker of the goalie. File goes back to the point. Kept in by the foot of Kloosterman. Now the Wolves come out with it. Davidson with a good back check. Shot toward Kimbrell from outside the zone. Harv sends it backward to Kloosterman. Kloosterman goes up the boards. And the puck goes back in the corner to Harv. Harv hits Treadway on the other side. Treadway lost sight of the puck. The Wolves pick it up. They bring it out of the zone with 1:23 left. Wolves fall! Treadway, oh, just missed. Treadway trying to get to the puck, put his arm around the Wolves player. We're on a delayed penalty, and the shot toward the net, stopped by Kimbrell. Now we get a whistle, and with 1:04 left in the first, the Wolves will go on the power play. The Wolves defenseman fell with the puck. Treadway tried for everything he was worth to get to it. The Wolves player jumped up, and Treadway just got his arm around the Wolves player and drew the penalty. So Graham Peters wins that face-off. He goes to Burkholder. Burkholder to White. It's out. Graham Peters has it. He drives it in, forces a play at the circle. He spins back. 49 seconds left in the period. Wolves come through the neutral zone. Peters pushing them to the outside. They go to the middle. Shot toward the net, wide. Burkholder battles for that puck. They go back to the point. Step in. Davidson, nice defense. Davidson keeps them to the outside. Nice box by the Trojans. Grant Peters forces a play. Drops his man. He comes away with a puck and sends it all the way down with 19 seconds left. Peters will go for a change. The Wolves bring it through the neutral zone. Offside. How do you like that with 7 seconds left? Soap turned toward the player. He cut in, but that cut caused his teammate to go across the blue line and draw the offside with 7.6 left. Face-off will be outside of the zone. 1:03 left in the power play. Penalty to Treadway. And we'll get a face-off at the dot pretty much in front of me. Evan Blazak wins that face-off. He drives it all the way down. Again, the defenseman for... Oh, the defenseman for the Wolves fell. Blazak with a great centering pass to Fogelman. Fogelman got a shot off, but the Wolves goalie was able to glove that down. The buzzer goes, and we will go to the break. I'm going to go talk to Coach between periods. We'll be back for the second.
One bone to pick.
I got Coach Gibbs with me here. Hey, using your words about throwing lines in a blender. I see the blender coming out tonight. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I know. I like it. I thought we had pretty good energy from all the lines, and you know, it's always a little bit dicey when you have guys that have played a certain position for a while, and then you flip them over. That, but what we do, especially in the D zone, is not super complicated, so it's not hard for them to pick up. It's more just positioning, like using the dots as their guide, especially the wingers, and making sure that we have center support on either side. So, but the energy's been good. You know, maybe a little bit better shot selection, I think, in the zone would help a little bit. But yeah, we got to get through this penalty and then get back to work.
Yeah, it feels good tonight. I do feel the energy you're talking about. The boys are really moving hard, and we're up by one at the end of the first. We got about just under a minute left of a penalty kill to go through, but we look good in the PK so far. Heck, we almost got a late one there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get one. I knew we had enough time. It was just a matter of if it would go tape to tape there. We fumbled it a little bit, but I mean, under that kind of pressure, when you know you got to make a play, plus the time's counting down, you know, that stuff happens. But Xander got a good shot off, and you know, it's a pretty good goalie down there too. So
Yeah, he's played pretty well tonight.
yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Well, Coach, go talk to the boys. I'm glad to see we're up by 1. I'll talk to you between the second and third. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
right, we're back for the start of the second. Trojans on the penalty kill. Burkholder and Soper out there with Peters and Davison. Bay City gets kicked out of the face-off circle. Trojans win that face-off, drive it into the Bay City end. Bay City collects it. They come through the neutral zone. Onsides. They look. Dump it into the corner. Burkholder able to get a stick in there. Sent it back toward the point. Glove down by Bay City. Into the middle. Burkholder intercepts that pass. Gives it up. Kimbrough with a pretty darn good save there. In tight. Puck trapped in the corner, sent to the middle. Burkholder's got it now. He takes his time, goes up to Davison, and we dump it all the way down. The goalie plays it in their end. 4 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Trojans. That should about do it. So the puck tipped by Rodenroth. Blazak gets it. He gets tied up. Backhander. Goalie taken out by his own player. Blazak not able to control it quick enough. Sent to the middle, and Bay City will bring that out into our zone. Shot off of the stick of the leg of Klusterman. The bounce through Kimbrough. He had to oh, that was way too many men for. How is that not a call? 2 late hits. Bay City bent out of shape over something. I think that was number 8 just tossing hits around, and the refs aren't calling it. Oh, now they are. Klusterman and number 8 will go to the box, but there is no reason on the face of the planet Klusterman should be in the box. And we still have a Traverse City player down on the ice as Coach Amy goes out there to check on him. So 15:31 in the second. Shots on goal are tied 10-10. Trojans up by 1. I can't for my life understand why there's no call there. So the injured player was File. He's helped off by Soper. Grayson goes off, and our trainer Amy is going to take Grayson to the locker room. Grayson seems to be favoring his arm. I hope he's all right. Again, the Wolves taking some liberties there and getting a couple of really, really late, dirty. Oh, look at that. I bit my tongue. We'll just say dirty shots in. Not the word I wanted to use. Face off to the left of Kimbrough. Won by the Trojans. White sends it behind the net. It makes it all the way to Davison. Davison goes back to White. White up to the point, kept in by the point. Soper's got it now. He goes hard off the boards. This will go down for an icing. So 15-12, second period. Trojans up by 1. Shots on goal, even at 10-10. Face off, controlled by the Trojans. White sends it around to Soap. Soap gloves it down, sends it to Fogelman. Fogelman hit Peters. Peters drives it in. Burley makes it to the corner. Burley takes a heck of a chip, but comes out with a puck. Burley looks, shot toward the net, just wide. White steps in, keeps it in. He gets rubbed off on the boards. Bay City coming out way more physical this period. We'll see how that works out for them as Fogelman just finished his check and sent one of the Bay City Wolves to the ice. Wolves fan on a shot. Fogelman comes away with it. He makes it through the neutral zone. Peters had a shot on net. Goalie with a left leg pad save. White shoots, tipped. Right, actually it was right first, left second. Now Fogelman in the middle loses a puck. Chipped all the way out in the middle. Conaway picks it up at the blue line. He looks. He hit Weaver with a hot pass. Weaver dumps it in, makes his own pickup. Back to the point. Harv keeps it in. Harv with a step shot. Deflection just wide of the net. Conaway goes all the way into the bottom of the circle to keep that in. Davison chases back. Conaway on the line. It comes up. Beatty's got it. Beatty gets it tipped into the corner. Beatty looks. Beatty looking to the middle. Conaway changes with Beatty. Beatty with a shot. Conaway's going to get that slap shot off the goal. Weaver! Score! Weaver with the goal! Conaway with the assist! Conaway stepped in deep as Beatty came around, came way off his point. Actually, might have scared the poop out of me. Ended up in the middle, picked up that puck, rifled a shot off the goalie's left pad. Weaver right there to pick it up and drive it in. 2-0. 13:31, second period. Go Trojans. Face off, controlled by the Trojans. Burkholder's got it in our end. He hands it off to Weaver. Weaver hits Davidson long. Davidson tips it in. Davidson controls it. He puts it in the corner. He takes a rub out hit, but that allows Beatty to get it. Beatty puts a hit on. A lot more physical. Shot toward the net, just wide into the glove of the goalie. We get a whistle. And Beatty got a hit late, so he retaliated. Now two of the Wolves come after him. And the referee's going to send both of them to the box. I mean, we don't mind coincidentals, but if the refs would call some real penalties, this stuff wouldn't happen. That was the word I wanted to use earlier. So Beatty and one of the Wolves will go to the box. Actually, there's two of the Wolves in the box. Oh, maybe the Wolves are getting one here. All right, let's see who's talking. Oh, my buddy Janelle's here. I can't find her. John and Annette Quillen watching in Ludington, Michigan. Grandma Soper watching from Rochester Hills. So the Trojans are going to go on the power play. And the face-off won by Bay City, dumped down. Fogelman picks that up. He goes to Davidson. Davidson thinks twice. And in the neutral zone, the Wolves pick it up. Soap's got to come back. They get a shot at Kimbrell off his pad. Weaver picks up that puck. Sends it in, it gets sent into the corner. Wolves with another shot that's blocked by Weaver. And now Soper gets it to Fogelman. Fogelman comes out. Fogelman goes behind the net. Centering pass. All the way down. Another penalty for the Wolves. Kimbrough goes to the bench. Fogelman brings it in. We've got 6 players out there. Fogelman just wide of the net, misses. Evan Blazak picks it up. He's going to come out of the zone, allow us to set up. And Weaver's got it now. That's Rodenroth brings it in. Rodenroth behind the goal line looking. Rodenroth just lets it go, and we get a whistle. I'm going to step off for 1 quick second. I'll be right back. Are you on the left wing or the right wing as you walk in? Go to the left. The left wing and up to the
Today's City Rules penalty assessment number 18, where the Melinda 2 minutes for tripping time penalty on 17. Power play 3.
All right, sorry about that. And help a friend out. All right, the Wolves. 4 on 5 now for 56 seconds. And Klusterman brings it in. He shoots into the goalie's glove, loose. Bunch of people in the crease, and Bay City clears the net. Shots on goal now 18 to 11 in favor of the Trojans. Xander's grandma's watching from Brownstown, Woodhaven. Thanks for tuning in. Grandma and Grandpa Conaway are going to have to watch the recording. They had another engagement tonight. All right, Trojans in deep behind the Wolves goal line. Send it around. Burley takes a hit but maintains control of the puck. He goes behind the net. He looks to go to the middle. Far side pass to Harv. Actually, that's Rodenroth out of the zone. Rodenroth's pass picked off. And Rodenroth's going to get a tripping call. And the Wolves again with a late slap at Rodenroth's stick. Certainly could have been an unsportsmanlike. So the face-off will be to left of Kimbrough. 15 seconds left on the Wolves penalty, 2 minutes on ours. White ends up with the puck. He sends it around to Davison. Davidson to the point, not out. Now Burkholder's got it behind the net. He sends it back to Davidson. Davidson lets it go, comes all the way out. So the puck in the Wolves' end, they control it, set it up. We are now on the penalty kill. And the Wolves bring it out. Pass intercepted by Graham Peters. Peters drives it deep. He forces a play behind their net. Wolves got to think twice, and Davison with a forecheck. They drive him down, and the Wolves will go to the box. So that'll negate. And now the Wolves just got an unsportsmanlike for chirping our bench. Hate it when that happens. Referee's telling the bench, somebody else to the box.
You can come stand over here if you want.
So we're going to end up with Kloosterman, Soper, Peters, and Davison out there. 4 on 4 for a minute 14 with the Wolves. And then we'll be on the power play for 46. Face off, controlled by the Trojans. Back to Soap. Soap shoots it off a stick, hits the net. We get a whistle. Face off in the Wolves' end, controlled by the Trojans. Pass Soap. Soap's got to race back to get that. He does. Wolves pick it off. Now they bring it through the corner. They're just going to eat some time. Wolves go far side, off a stick, kept in at the blue line, chipped into the corner. Kloosterman will get to that. He shoots it up the boards, not out. Wolves spin backwards, make a move. Shot toward the net, intercepted by Soap. Soap hits Davison. Davison goes up. Davison turns back, hits Peters. Peters slap shot in, off the goalie. Into the corner, and the Wolves will settle it down. And we will go up by 1 right now. So the Wolves bring it into our end. Kloosterman with a hit. Oh, he's going to get a roughing call? So the refs weren't calling anything. Now they're calling everything. So Kloosterman will go to the box with 37 seconds left on the Wolves penalty. 7:51. Second period. Trojans up by 2. The Wolves decide to take the face off to the left of Kimbrell. Conaway and White out there with Weaver and Fogelman. Puck dropped, whistle blown, Weaver kicked out of the circle. So Fogelman will take this face off. Fogelman chips it up to the line, not out. Shot toward the net, into Kimbrell's breadbasket. He hangs on, and he'll hand the puck to the linesman. This face-off will be to the right of Kimbrell. Conaway, White, Fogelman, and Weaver. Weaver wins the face-off up to Fogelman. Fogelman's got to beat two defensemen. Fogelman gets around one, shoots toward the net. Pretty good save by the goalie in his pads. Whistle blows. 1:44 left in Klusterman's penalty. 22 seconds left in the Wolves' penalty. So the referee lets everybody change, calls it even. We keep our same line. Fogelman, Weaver, Conaway, and White. Face off. Weaver gets dumped. But somehow Fogelman comes away with a backhander by Weaver. Steered aside. Weaver looks. Weaver shot toward the net. Off the goalie. Oh, it just trickled through the crease wide of the net. Now the Wolves will come out. Oh, what a great play by Weaver. He chipped that puck up. And we're going to get a penalty? I'm blown away. Weaver's getting a tripping call on that. So I'm sure the coaches will switch up the lines here. Burkholder, Harvey, and Peters. 3 on 5 for a minute 12. All right, face off, won by the Wolves. Back to the left point, to the middle, back to the left, back to the middle, right in, shot across, shot missed, all the way around and out. Wolves will have to check up, makes it all the way to their end. Behind their net, they come out. Peters looks. He's going to push that man to the outside. Drives him off the puck. Harv with a stick. We send it back to the left, into the middle. Shot into the pads of Kimbrell. And Harv clears the net. 33 seconds left on the 5-on-3. This would be a huge stop. So we're going to get Conaway, Soper, and Peters out there now. Ugh. I love watching Conaway play, but my stomach's turning. Face-off, controlled by the Wolves. Back to the far point. From the middle now, they look, set it up toward the net. Backhander over the net. The boys stay in a triangle. It comes to the middle at the blue line. Walk in, right side, shot! Kimbrell with a pad save outside. Kept in just at the line by the Wolves. To the right side, shot! Top corner over Kimbrell's shoulder. They score. Which is not good because there was 7 seconds left on the original penalty. So that will allow the Wolves 55 seconds on the power play. So with 5:58 in the second, shots on goal 21-14, 3-2 in favor of the Trojans. Klusterman's out of the box. He's on D. Fogelman, White, and Blazak up front. Actually, White's back, but he was on the right side of the circle for the face-off. Wolves bring it in around White. Backhander into the breadbasket of Kimbrell. He couldn't control it. It came out. Wolves pick it up. They center it into the middle. Shot toward the net off of Klusterman. Wide. Oh, the rebound just chipped wide of the net. It comes to Kimbrell. 2 shots. Kimbrell's got it. It's loose between White's legs. He didn't even know it was there. Klusterman flattens his man and clears the puck. It goes all the way behind the Wolves' net. The man that Klusterman sent down hobbles to the bench. They get around Fogelman. They come in to the middle. Shot into the breadbasket. Kimbrough, he doesn't know where it is. He put his foot back and it trickled in. Oh. Kimbrough with the original save, but the puck actually trickled in off his foot. And we have a tie game at 4:58 in the second. Couple of penalties there. Put the Trojans on their heels. But if they keep playing the way they've been playing, it'll be a quick comeback. So we're going to try Beatty, Weaver on the wings, and Davison to take the face-off. Face-off controlled by the Wolves, dumped in off Soper's legs. Soper controls it in the corner. Soper able to get it up. Beatty makes the zone onside. Wolves get it out. No, they do not. Right at the line, they gave it up. Weaver got it deep. He races behind the net. And Davison comes out with it. He's looking. He shoots toward the net. Off the goalie's right pad. Into the corner. Beatty takes a hit. Sends it to Davidson. Davidson goes to the middle. Soper's going to shoot from the point. Oh, it hit his own player. Weaver was trying to jump out of the way. Soper knocks it down at the blue line. Dumps it right back in. We check up on sides. Wolves come out off sides. Oh, geez. Referee needs new glasses. Puck drove all the way down. They're going to call this icing, even though the referee said the Wolves player didn't even skate for it, which was 100% true. So the icing was negated. Fogelman comes up with it. He goes back to the point. Soper with a shot into traffic. Back to the point. Burley's got it. Burley dumps it in deep. Fogelman in the corner. He looks, turns in, tried to get it to Peters. Fogelman goes back to the point. Conaway with a shot. Deflection, just wide. Soper comes up with it, comes to the middle. Conaway and Burkholder got to back up. They go high over the shoulder. This should make it to the line. It'll be an icing. 3:19, second period. Tie game. So we'll finish the defensive line change. We'll have Conaway and Harvey out there along with Blazak, Burley, and Rodenroth. Face off, won by Blazak. Blazak hits Harvey. Harvey goes to Conaway. Conaway with a shot. Oh, Blazak was right there trying for the deflection, but the goalie ended up with it in his pads and hangs on. Nice play by Blazak, Harvey, and Conaway there. Quick movement of the puck. Quick shot. Blazak, another face-off. He sends it forward, chases down his own puck. Has help from Davison. Blazak's got it now, sends it the other way. Conaway thinks about stepping in, but the Wolves go the other direction. Up the boards, out. It comes to Harv. Harv goes back to Rodenroth. We check up on sides. Rodenroth goes behind the net. Picks up the puck. Sends it deep. Davison battles for that puck. Blake Davidson. It ends up down. Conaway picks it up in our zone. He's moving. He makes a move. He gets past the red line, blue line. Conaway shoots off of the defenseman for the Wolves. Conaway in the corner sends it to Rodenroth. Rodenroth shoots just out the outside of the net. Humphreys now has it off his stick. Conaway goes for a change. Klusterman picks it up in the line. Shot off the goalie's stick. Up. Rodenroth driven into the boards up high. Centering pass, just missed Klusterman. Klusterman in deep. Klusterman looks. A lot of pressure by the Trojans. Klusterman loses it, but Collier was able to keep it, and the Wolves are giddy with an icing call and send it all the way down. A lot of pressure by the Trojans here. Late in the second, 1:49 left. Tie game 2-2 on some questionable penalty calls on the Trojans. So Kasu Lehtinen, our exchange student, will take this face off. Humphrey steps in, just out of his reach. The Wolves come through the middle. Humphreys pressures, backhanded out, all the way in. Another icing call, all the way down it'll go. 1:38 left in the second period. Trojans 25-18 up on the shots. We'll get a line change. Burkholder, Soper, Beatty, Weaver, and Davison out here. Davison will take the face off. Beatty on his right, Weaver on his left, Soper right D, Burkholder left D. Face off, controlled by the Trojans and chipped by the Wolves. Burkholder backs up, pushes his man outside. Long shot in, goes wide of Kimbrell. Burkholder forces a play, pins his man on the board. Davison picks that puck up. He hit Beatty. Beatty sends it backward. Soper with 1:15 left goes back to Burkholder. Burkholder, long pass up through the middle. Beatty's going to race in to get this one, pitches his man off, but just couldn't get a stick on the puck. Sent to the middle, right on Soper's stick. Soper off the boards. Driven in by Davidson. Oh. They tried to drive it out, but I think that was Beatty sent it right back in, but they called it offsides as Weaver picked it up. So with 56.6 seconds left in the second, Conaway and Harv on D. Peters in the middle, Burley left, and Fogelman right. Face-off, won by Peters. Conaway quickly to Harv. Harv to Burley behind the goal line. Burley looks. Burley with a wraparound attempt. Goalie got his leg down. 46.4 second period. Peters will take the face off again. They back Burley up. Peters wins it again. It goes to Fogelman. Fogelman couldn't keep it in. He spins around now. He's going to make the zone. He's moving quick. He's got Burley going to the net. He shoots! The goalie, I'm not sure how he saw that. So with 24 seconds left, they try to center. Kimbrell not able to hold on to that. Harv sends it to Burley. Burley goes back to the point. Nobody there. Conaway tips it aside. Conaway's got it. He backs it up to Harv. Takes a hit when he does it. Harv takes a hit and gives it off to Burley. Burley hard up the boards. Out. Now, Fogelman's got it with 4 seconds. He sends it back to Peters. Peters got to do something quick. Buzzer. So I just got an update from Grayson Files, Dad. He's going to go to the hospital and get checked for broken ribs. So that hit along the boards on File, he's going to get checked for broken ribs. Otherwise, he's doing pretty good, but still, broken ribs suck. Trust me, I know. All right, I'm going to go talk to Coach, get his thoughts on this period. I'll be back in a few. You know that I'm the announcer?
No.
It's awful. Can you hear me? It's awful. Am I?
Yeah, no, not literally. Literally. Talking is so bad.
So bad. But if you listen to me,
Real quick, I got Coach for a second. Hey, Coach, not what I expected out of the second. Some questionable calls there on us to put us down. What are your thoughts on that second period?
Yeah, we got to be smarter. I mean, 5-on-5, I like our chances. I think we've been on them hard, and you know they're going to call them. You know, obviously you got to be really careful. And we took some bad penalties, but you know we had our 5-on-3 shot, they had theirs, and that's the difference what shot selection makes.
Well, the boys are playing tough. I mean, both teams came out crazy physical in the second. What do you see for the third?
Well, I think it's going to be more of the same. I mean, we're starting on a power play here, but whether we get one or not, I think it's going to be same thing for the last 17 minutes. So we gotta play with energy and play with a little bit of grit here, and I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach, I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. I'll talk to you at the end of the game.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back for the start of the third. So at the end of the second, there must have been a penalty at or after the whistle. There's 2 minutes on the board, which means it happened at the whistle or after. And that penalty is on the Bay City Wolves. So the Trojans will start out the third on the power play. And if we can keep our heads on straight and not get any offsettings, we should have a good chance to go ahead here. So the face-off, controlled by the Trojans, back to Soap. Soap hits Fogelman. Fogelman to Weaver, tipped in off Weaver's stick. Davison sends it back to Weaver. Weaver behind the net and the goal line, goes to the point. Fogelman steps in toward the middle, goes to the point of the circle, hands it to Weaver. Weaver in the middle, shot. I think he was trying to hit Davidson, looking for the redirect, just out of Davidson's reach. In deep. Oh, Davison just fanned on the shot. He had a good chance there. That one was chipped by the Wolves player. Went off Soper's shoulder into the bench, and we'll get a face-off to the right of the Wolves goalie. 16:25, third period. 1:25 left in the power play for the Trojans. Tie game 2-2. Graham Peters takes his face-off. Wolves control. They send it around. Fogelman's there to pick it up. He looks. Hits Weaver. Weaver tried to hit Fogelman coming through the middle. Just missed. Unbelievable. We're going to get a penalty here on Fogelman for tripping. Again, I said if we could just stay out of the box, we should be able to pick it up here. But with the 1:02 left in the penalty, the Wolves draw one. It'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 2. Face-off will end up all the way down in the Trojan end to the right of Kimbrell. Actually, the left of Kimbrell. Wolves control, shot at Kimbrell, rebound, picked up by Rodenroth. Rodenroth goes up to Klusterman. Klusterman dumps it in deep. He's going to pick his own dump in. He tried to center it. It goes to... Klusterman's got it now behind the net. Centering pass just missed by Evan Blazak. The Wolves come around behind the net. Excellent forecheck by Rodenroth. Knocks that stick off of the Wolves player, and we keep it in behind their net. Blazak goes to the point. Burkholder, shot toward the net, steered aside. Blazak goes far side to Klusterman. Klusterman goes through the legs. Shot! Just wide. Blazak just missed the rebound. And the Wolves bring it back and dump it in. With 7 seconds left in the 4-on-4. We get it out. Conaway and Burkholder back. Burkholder goes for a change, and we'll have White and Conaway back. Shot toward Kimbrell, off his pads, all the way to the point. To the middle. Wolves on the power play now. Conaway forces a play. Actually, that was White forced the play. Back to the point. Wolves in deep at the circle. Send it back to the middle. Shot. Conaway, pick that off. He's going to come up to the blue line. He rifles it all the way down to the right side of the goalie, who settles it down. But we had Graham Peters racing in. He ties it up on the boards. He's going to eat some clock. 10 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Trojans. Conaway and White back. Peters and Davison up front. And Peters knocks that off the stick. He goes for a change. Wolves drive it all the way in, get an icing call. That will end the power play for the Wolves. We'll go back to 5-on-5. So we'll get Kloosterman and Harvey, Blazak, Blake Davison, and Rodenroth out there. Wolves able to send it back behind their goal line. They check up, come into the corner. Kloosterman steps in, lays his man out, plays the puck with his foot. Give it up to Blake Davison. Now in front of the net, the Wolves pick it up, they send it out. Kloosterman just flattens the player as he tried to play the puck. Now Harvey goes to Rodenroth. Rodenroth has it. He looks, goes far side to Blake Davidson. Blake Davidson steps out of the way of a check, and the Wolves player slams into the board on his own. Rodenroth goes back to the point. Harvey back to Rodenroth. Harvey keeps it in off the player's leg. Now it's out. Wolves come into our zone. And now it comes up the boards, kept in by the Wolves player. Deep, and Harvey gets it. He backhanded it, but didn't get what he wanted on it, but blocked the centering pass. Back to the point. The Wolves look, shoot. High and wide of Kimbrell off the boards. They come back, shoot. Blocked by Luke Harvey. The rebound came right to one of the Wolves player, and they drive it in. You've got to be kidding me. So at 12:42 in the third period, even strength, the Wolves go up by 1. So Graham Peters will take this face off with Fogelman and Burley. Burkholder gets it in our end, checks up behind the net, goes up the boards. Fogelman, outlet pass, deflected. Now Burkholder couldn't get it out either. Another shot at Kimbrell, big rebound right on the stick of Peters. Peters goes far side to Burley. Burley chips it in, beats his man, goes into the corner, checks up. Burley tripped, no call. Fogelman's got it in the other corner. Fogelman centering pass, picked off by the Wolves player. Wolves able to get it out now. Peters picks that pass off. He circles backward, hits Burkholder. Burkholder can't control. Fogelman gets it. He goes back to Burkholder. Burkholder gives it up, but the Wolves are off sides and have to check up. They do now. And Davison comes out with it, dumps it all the way in behind the net. Wolves not able to get it out yet. Now they do. Burkholder and Soper back. Wolves to the near side by me. Great stick work by Soper. Tips it off. Now he comes out with it. Hits Davison in the middle. Davison comes in. Shot! Oh, off the crossbar! He beat the goalie. He hit the crossbar. Davison in the corner. Battles for that. It comes out to Beatty. Beatty makes a move. 2 moves around 2 guys. He goes back in the corner. He hit Davison. Davison didn't get what he wanted on it. Beatty in his feet. He still got it. Centers it. Goalie settles it down in the crease. Puts a glove on it. 10:47 third period. Trojans down by 1. Shots on goal 27-21 in favor of the Trojans. Looks like we're going to have White, Kloosterman, Rodenroth, Blake Davison, and Blazak out there. Blazak not able to control that puck. Second effort. White checks his man. And The Wolves came in offside, the whistle blew, and number 27, about 3 seconds after the whistle, put it in and goes, what? No goal? Surprised he didn't get it unsportsmanlike. So Blazak will take this face off in the neutral zone, right in front of the Traverse City bench. Blake Davidson sends it to Klusterman. Klusterman went across the middle. We come in on sides. Rodenroth. Dangerous play by the defenseman for the Wolves. Traverse City had it for a second. Wolves get it back. Pass intercepted by Blazak. Blazak's going to come in. He leaves it at the blue line. Wolves bring it out. Klusterman has to back up. He plays his man well. Pins him to the boards. Plays it with a foot. It goes back to White. White races in. Back to the point. Shot from the point. Nowhere. Blazak comes out with it. He goes to the far side. He hits Rodenroth. Rodenroth beats his defenseman. Comes through the circle. Shoots! Just wide! Oh, it's in the crease. Goalie didn't know where it was. And White just couldn't get a stick on it. Klusterman dumps it all the way back in from the red line into the corner. Fogelman will beat his man to it. Fogelman looking. Fogelman goes around, wrap around, right on the line. Oh, that's as close as it gets to going in without it happening. That was right on the line. So Fogelman, Burley, and Peters out there with Conaway and Harvey back. Conaway right back, Harvey left back. Fogelman right front, Burley left front. Peters to Conaway. Conaway shoots. Fogelman deflected it wide. Burley with a shot. Oh, bad bounce off the goal. We still have control behind the net. We're looking. Conaway steps in. Peters has it. A lot of pressure. He chips it up. Handed down. They're going to call that a hand pass, and we'll get a whistle in the... Actually, that'll go all the way down as a hand pass. Tons of pressure on the Wolves goalie. We just can't get it across that line. So Conaway, Harv, Peters, Fogelman, and Rodenroth will stay out there to the left of Kimbrell. Kimbrell on the ready. Face off. Won by Peters. Harv to Conaway. Conaway let it go. Fogelman to Burley. Burley messed with hard. Off of a foot. Burley's going to make a man play. Clean hit. Oh, golly, Ben. He made a beautiful clean hit, and with the player down, he punched him in the head. He's going to the box. Oh, that's a rough call. The coach cannot be happy with that. And the Wolves shoot it toward the net. We still can't touch it. Back to the point, shot toward the net. Now Conaway will make contact. No. Oh, slash on Conaway so hard he broke his stick. If that's not a call, yeah, they got him. They got the Wolves player. I don't know if it was the slash or after that, but the slash literally broke Conaway's stick in half. And now he got it unsportsmanlike. Excellent. I love it. He breaks our player's stick, gets pissed off at the ref, and shoots the puck down. And he'll take it unsportsmanlike, which will give us the chance to get back in this game. All right, I can't say we're playing real smart because Burley's going to the box for, I mean, he made a great check on the player and then followed through with a punch that got the call. So I wouldn't call that smart, but the Wolves even dumber than we are with the slash on Conaway and then the unsportsmanlike. So as the two captains consult with the referees to see what the final calls are, there'll be 2 in the box for the Wolves. And Burley in the box. Oh. So the final call will be 2 minutes on the Wolves with off. Now that doesn't make sense to me. Because they really weren't offsetting penalties, right? But he didn't, but it would be up there then. But you guys had the only penalty. They shouldn't be offsetting. Well, the cameraman for the Wolves and I both don't understand what the final calls were, but we're on the power play for 2. Grant Peters wins that face-off. Fogelman's got it. He hits Soper in the feet. Soper backs up. Soper not able to control it. Chipped out. Kimbrell's going to have to come out and play this. He doesn't do it. The Wolves with a shot. Kimbrell keeps it out. Wolves short-handed with a shot there. And now Soper hits Fogelman. Fogelman goes back to Soper. We're going to set it up. Weaver's got it. Weaver goes up to Fogelman, who chipped it up, but not far enough. Shot at Kimbrell in his glove. He hangs on. So 35 seconds of the power play pretty much in our end, and we're going to get a wholesale line change. I'm waiting to hear the announcement. It doesn't make sense to me because Burley's call and the slashing, unless they call those offsetting, and then I have to get my rule book out. All right, face off in the Trojan end. Blazak tossed out. Rodenroth will step in. Rodenroth wins the face off, goes to Klusserman. Klusserman up to Beatty. Beatty can't grab it. Back to the point. Now Beatty, he's got one to beat. Beatty with Rodenroth goes back to Rodenroth. Rodenroth shoots just off the goalie stick. Blazak tied up hard in front of the net. Puck shot all the way down on Kimbrell. He settles it down and gives it to Klusserman. So it was a delay of game. I don't understand. Off of White's stick, he goes to Rodenroth. Rodenroth goes around Blazak. Blazak to Klusserman on the point. Klusserman steps in. Shot into the player's leg. Rodenroth gets tripped. Arm goes up. We'll be 5-on-3 as they touch the puck. We'll have 28 seconds of 5-on-3. We need to step it up and score. I guess that's kind of obvious, but I'm getting a little agitated. So it looks like it'll be Fogelman, Davison, Soper, Weaver, and Peters for the 5-on-3 against the Wolves. This is a big deal. We need a goal. Now, the boys who are out there usually stay out of the box, and I'm guessing the coach did that on purpose because our retaliation penalties are killing us. So the Trojans are going to call a timeout here, line the boys up, and work through some stuff here. So the boys are in front of the bench. The referees and the linesmen, center ice, talking, a little bit animated. Coach Gibbs got the whiteboard telling his boys what he wants to see. This is a big opportunity here. One that we do not want to let slip aside. I got some Rodenroths hanging in Naples, Florida with Steve, Jeff, and Nana and Papa. There's your shout out. Thanks for tuning in to this pulse-raising game. Callie and Jen Kloosterman, who would love to be here at the game, but Jen had to go chase her daughter down for hockey. Watching from Sterling Heights. Thanks for watching, ladies. All right, Graham Peters going to take this face off. One to Fogelman. Fogelman drops it off to Soper. Soper comes in. He takes a shot, steered aside. Fogelman able to keep it in right at the blue line. He goes across to Soper. Great pass. Soper curls. He looks. Soper goes back to Fogelman. Fogelman, three-step shot just over the net. Off the goalie and just over the net. Now, oh, kept in by Weaver. And then second effort, the Wolves get it out. So now we'll go to 5-on-4. Fogelman picks it up behind our net. He looks. He hits Davison. Davison steps in. Davison all the way to the bottom of the circle behind the net. Davison sends it around to Fogelman on the point. Fogelman goes back to Davison. Davison goes far side. Soper, oh, tried to hit Fogelman with a quick pass. And just out. And the Wolves drive it all the way down. Kimbrell tries to settle it down. Weaver goes off. Beatty comes on. Soper checks up behind our net. He goes backward to Davison. Davison comes through the middle into the neutral zone across the red line. Davison's going to make the blue line off his stick, not out. Kept in by Fogelman, who lost his stick. Now it comes to Graham Peters on the point. Peters shot! Deflection just wide. Kloosterman's got it. He looks. Kloosterman steps to the middle. Beatty's got it. Beatty, went to the middle. He didn't get on that pass what he wanted. 24 seconds left. Kimbrell's got it. He sends it way up to Beatty. They got him in line change. Fogelman's got it. Fogelman gets tripped up, but he gets the puck back. What a heads-up play by Kimbrell to make that pass. Fogelman goes back to Beatty. Beatty shoots into the goalie's glove. He hangs on. We get a whistle with 5 seconds left in the power play. 4:53, third period. Down by 1. 5 seconds left in the power play. Son of a gun. So we're going to get Davison, Weaver, Beatty, Kloosterman, and White. Weaver wins the faceoff. White goes far side to Kloosterman. Kloosterman holds it on the blue line. Even strength. Kloosterman with a move. Wolves come out of the zone with it. Weaver pounds his man on the board. White comes away with the puck. He checks up, hits Weaver back. Weaver, long pass, nice! Hits Kloosterman. Kloosterman's got a beat. Kloosterman shoots into the goalie's glove. No goal. Doggone it. Kloosterman had everybody beat, got a great shot off, and the goalie made a great save. You got to give this goalie credit. 33 shots, and the ones that count, he has made the save. Conaway and Harvey back. Davison, Weaver, and Beatty up front. Face-off won by Davidson. Shot toward the net wide. Conaway keeps it in. Conaway steps back. Chipped out way high. Harvey gets it. He sends it up. Oh, Beatty just behind. Shot off Kimbrell into the high glass. Davison settles it down. Back to Conaway. Conaway up to Weaver. Weaver goes back. Weaver hits Harv. Harv through the middle. Wolves in the neutral zone. Give it back to Harv. Harv looks, chips it up into the middle. Wolves pick it up. Conaway goes after him, forces a play. They bring it in into 3 men. Beatty comes out with it. He ices it. Time for a line change. So 3:40, third period. Trojans down by 1. I think it's a little early, but I'd expect to see Kimbrell coming out at some point here. Again, nothing against Kimbrell. He's played a great game, but down by 1, 3:40. I'm guessing around 2 minutes. It's time to think about pulling your goalie. Face off. picked up by Burkholder, sent to the point, not out. Burkholder gets tripped, no call. Graham Peters ties his man up now. Soap sends it out, it goes down. Burley forces the play, Soap picks it up at the point, he goes to the middle. Toe drags, backhand toward the net! And Burley was tied up very well by the defenseman right in front of the net. Actually, that was Fogelman. He couldn't do anything. Goalie hangs on. We get a whistle with 3:15 left. White and Kloosterman coming out to pick up defense. Burley, Peters, and Fogelman up front. Fogelman left, Burley right, Peters in the middle. The Wolves with a late line change. Late enough, the linesman throws out the Wolves centerman. Face off, controlled by the Wolves, backhanded around. Burley gets there, sends it back. They go far side. Wolves chip it up, past Kloosterman, icing all the way down. 3:01 left, third period. We're going to get White and Kloosterman back. Blazak will take the face-off with Rodenroth and Drew Davison. Face-off controlled by the Wolves. Blazak pounds in there. Wolves able to clear off the high glass. Kloosterman with a nice backhander. Sent to Blake Davidson up. Here comes Evan Blazak, and the Wolves just chip it down. Kloosterman's going to pick it up before the line, no icing. He back spins. Wolves pick it up, try to just tie it up and eat some time. 2-on-2. We need another Trojan to get in there and drive that puck out. Now, Trojans come up with it. Off of Blake Davidson. The Wolves get a shot. Knocked down by Kimbrell. Chipped high and out. Oh! It went over the stick of the Wolves player, but Blake Davidson turned the other way. Wolves drive it in deep. Berkey will pick that up with 1:42 left. Kimbrell looking to come out. Driven in by Blake Davidson. He goes for a change. Kimbrell will hold the spot. Puck picked up by Davidson. Davidson goes back to Soap. Soap keeps it in. Soap tipped toward the net. Oh, just wide. Wolves able to clear. Burkholder's got to go back. Kimbrell was 1/3 of the way out of the net. Burkholder with a lot of pressure. He's got to come back. 1:15 left. Burkholder hits Weaver. Weaver going fast. Jace Kimbrell going to the bench. Weaver comes in. Backhander toward the net. Loose. Behind the net. The Wolves happy to just tie it up. 1 minute exactly. Wolves can't, just tying it up. Referee blows the whistle. 53.3 left in the third period. We'll get a face-off to the right of the Wolves goalie. Kimbrell will stay on the bench. Soper, Kloosterman, Peters, Weaver, Fogelman, and Burley. Face-off, won by the Trojans. Over to Soper on my side, shot! Oh, just kicked aside. Up the boards, kept in by Soper. Soper with another shot, tipped by one of the Wolves defensemen. Now the Wolves will get it out. Oh, they're saying it was tipped. Oh, these refs are amazing. Unbelievably good. And the Wolves missed the empty net. Soper sends it off to the side. Another shot toward the net. Steered aside by Klusterman. 15 seconds left. Sent up. Knocked back in. And that's going to do it with 4 seconds left. We're going to come out down by 1. And a rough loss. Oh, that one's brutal. Now, I'm going to let Coach talk to the boys after this one and leave them alone. Not a lot to be said. Some silly penalties there cost us. We were not able to capitalize on the power plays we had. So with a final of 3-2 for the Wolves, shots on goal 34-24 in favor of the Trojans. I'm going to sign off for the night. We'll see you this week. If I am correct, we have Gaylord on Wednesday at Gaylord. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.